It is the world's most recognizable camera for action sports. The specifications of this camera and the resolutions are just out of this world, and the frame rates. Every time you swipe left to right, right to left, up and down, you're gonna get a different set of menus. Your SD card goes right in here. The skeleton case is what has the actual mount built in. 33 feet or 10 meters waterproof. This way, your power banks is always there. The GoPro batteries will maybe last you a whole 40 minutes. And get yourself one of these if you have a GoPro 5 or a GoPro 6. This GoPro is voice activated as well. Oh, it does work. It's never too late to review an awesome product. It is the world's most recognizable camera brand for action sports, GoPro 5 Black. And I gotta say, I have a couple of different clones that I've reviewed, and they still don't hold their own to the GoPro 5. So right now, we are recording right now with the GoPro 5, and this is yet another GoPro 5. When you think of action sports these days, you only think GoPro. That is the comparison, that is the benchmark, and I couldn't be happier with GoPro. GoPro is actually the only cameras that we've been using primarily to grow this channel and the business entertainment show. A lot of people think that a cell phone is going to replace a GoPro 5 in the near future.
That's crazy.
That may possibly happen, but I do not foresee it. Let's just open this guy up. Take this guy out. There we go. The biggest problem that I can tell you from having a bunch of GoPros is that the mounts break all the freaking time. They always bust on where you squeeze them. They added a little rubbery piece here, right? Which is different. Obviously, you press these in and then you push it forward, and that's gonna bring the camera out of its mount. There we go. The bolts or the nuts that are holding this are a lot larger, and it's more flat, which is much better because I don't understand what the point is having these bulges. This is what I was referring to right here. These are the things that always bust when you stick them in. Press this down and this will not close. So this is pretty cool. Let's open this up. So we've got some stickers. We've got a little manual. Simple. There you go. Obviously, you want to use a smartphone to manage all of this. The really cool thing is that this GoPro is voice activated as well, so it does record, but you have to have the camera turned on in order to have the voice activated, I believe. Let's see what else we've got in here. We probably just have a couple of mounts, a USB and the battery. So yep, so we've got the charging cable. We've got your mount with the self-adhesive, so one for your helmet or your forehead. We've got one more mount, and it's just a little different, but you guys can see, you just slide this puppy in and it works. Now these are reverse compatible with the other cameras though. You've got one here as well, so if you ever need to do it. You got your GoPro battery, and you got yourself a skeleton case. The skeleton case is what has the actual mount built in, which is kind of good but kind of bad, because now if this busts on you, you're gonna have to go and buy one of these, and these, I bet you anything, they're selling for like 30-40 bucks. Find yourself a non-brand solution because they work just as well. Now in this version of the GoPro, you do not need a case to go underwater. The entire assembly here is shockproof and waterproof and dustproof, right? So whereas before you kind of needed a separate case to take the camera, because if you dropped it, then there was no protection for the lens, there was no protection for the case, and So same concept on the latch here. You push it in, this comes out like so, and then you take this down, right? This opens up. It seems sturdy, but again, obviously if you do this, it will snap and break. The camera now, it's just gonna be pushed in like so. I don't think you really should worry about scratching the lens, because I imagine that if it's like this and goes underwater, then there is obviously a protective piece, like a plastic glass over the lens. So this is what it looks like. The specifications of this camera and the resolutions are just out of this world, and the frame rates. So we've got your autofocus lens with built-in image stabilization. It's got Pro Tune tools already built in. On the very top now, you've got your big power button. It's a nice gray finish, so it doesn't stand out as much. You've got your microphone. You know, that could be a mic. All of the compartments obviously are water protected because this is submergible. 33 feet or 10 meters waterproof. So that's pretty high up. For video though, you get 4K 30 frames per second on the Black. You get 1440, which is just a tad over 1080p at 80 frames. And at 1080p, you get your 120 frames per second. And if you wanted to use this as a still camera, you get 12 megapixels. And it does 30 frames per second bursts. This version apparently has advanced wind noise protection, because I don't know if there's a way to plug in an external mic, because in GoPro 4 and 3 you could, by sticking it through an adapter into one of the power buttons. And on the very bottom, you've got your battery compartment. You press the button, you push it out, it plops open. Your SD card goes right in here into the slot. We're gonna stick this guy in, it slides in like so. We put the SD card in and we close it. Of course, this handles 256 gigabyte cards. I've been using a Lexar high-speed card, and 64 gigs and 32s. My experience with Lexar cards have been very successful. Don't get anything more than, I would say, 128. Even 64 is high. I mean, I primarily use it for the business show, and we'd use it for the interviews. You need to record like 2 hours, even 4 hours at once. But most people, when they go out, they're not going to do that. They're going to be pausing recording as they set up their shots. So I would say maybe 64. Get yourself 2 64 cards, or even 3 32 cards. The only problem is that you're gonna have to find a way to carry them. On the left side of the camera, we've got another latch. So we press it, slide it down, and it looks like this. And this is where your HDMI and your connector goes in, right? So you've got two little inputs. One is for the HDMI, mini HDMI, so you can connect it to your TV as an output, and then the other one is your power cable. Now, as I mentioned before, the power cable is a little different. Looks like so, and so the old cable from the old GoPro 4s and down, it will not work. Now, they changed this charging cable from the last one. This particular charger allows you to record while being plugged in, so because that's been one of the biggest issues, is that when you plug in a GoPro inside a vehicle or a car into a cigarette port lighter, the camera thinks it's plugged into a computer, and it activates the USB mode, or it starts charging, but it does not allow you to turn on the device and start recording it. And of course, for the purpose of this, I don't want to be burning through batteries like crazy, so I would obviously appreciate being able to just plug this into my cigarette port, or better yet, plug this into a USB port, such as something like this, right? So if I plug this in, we've got two bars here. So let's see, I'll plug this one in here. And now if I plug this into the GoPro, it should start the GoPro. We're gonna take out the battery. So battery goes out. You can take this off as well, just pull it a little. See, and it just comes off. Because when you have a skeleton case on, here's your skeleton case, right? It's actually, you can connect on the outwards of here. Okay, so we're gonna close the battery compartment and we're gonna slide this puppy in. Okay, so now we took this out, so now we've got access to here. And so now we're gonna be connecting it through the external USB. Now it could be that there's not enough power, so I'm plugging it in. Okay, I see you guys saw the red light clearly. Let's do it again. You see the red light? I think you do. Okay, now it's gone. But let's see if we can turn that on. I don't think it does turn on. Oh, it does work. Oh, sick. Sick! Alright. Oh, awesome. If this is the case, this is brilliant. This is amazing. But let's see if it does work. So clearly there's no SD card in here right now. And it does work. See? Since you don't necessarily need an external battery pack, well, at least not underwater, is you would take something like this, which is a power pack, and then you could get yourself a custom rig where you would basically take some Velcro or some tape and then basically stick it right on. And then this is how I would do it, for example, right? And then this way, your power bank is always there and you can plug it in. Okay, so quick overview of your GoPro. So short press power is on, long press power is off. Mode button switches between video and photo modes. Adds highlight tags while recording as well. Okay. The shutter button, which is the one up top, captures the video and acts as a shutter for photos, for pictures. Quick capture, short press for video, long press for time-lapse photos. Interesting. When your GoPro is off, press the shutter to power on and start recording automatically. So enough of the tour. We are on the main menu, and here's your main menu. And as the tour suggested, every time you swipe left to right, right to left, up and down, you're gonna get a different set of menus. Now there's no SD card in here, so this doesn't matter. If you guys want a full video explaining to you how it works, I would recommend go finding another channel. Can't wait to see what GoPro does with number 6. I would be first line to buy it. And thank you so much guys for watching. Marcin out.